Hello and welcome to Chinny Vision 2. I had some kind of stuff crop up on Twitter today about sound treatment and getting good sound for your YouTube videos and things. Now I've got a kind of slightly more elaborate setup than most people because I work in this area as well. But I thought I'd share a few tips because there's some things that might be obvious and some things that aren't. So I'm just going to sit down here. At the mixing desk, computer isn't on. So what you're trying to avoid is reverberation. People think sound treatment like this stuff up here, this foam is soundproofing. Well, it's not really. That won't really stop sound coming from outside. In fact, there's a window over there behind me. And what the foam actually does is it deadens the audio. So if you go into your room, and I can't clap my hands at the moment, but the first test you need to do when you're trying to set up your recording area is to clap your hands like that. And then listen for reverberation. Where is the reverberation coming from? Now, wherever that reverberation is, and I've deliberately not covered over my radiator down there at the moment. Usually when I'm recording, I'd cover this radiator over because the number one place for reverberation, I clap my hands. You can probably just about hear that. There's a metallic sound. That's the biggest problem in here. Now I've done everything else, but I usually, as I say, I've left that uncovered. I usually got that covered over. Now, in terms of your setup, you need to clap your hands and see what in your room is causing reverberation, and then decide, right, how are you going to deal with that? Now, the biggest problem you're probably going to have is your desk. It's a large, flat surface. Now, you might be wondering why I've just got an IKEA throw over this rather cheap bit of IKEA woodwork underneath there. Well, the answer is the throw helps deaden the sound. But also underneath here is offcuts of carpet. Can you see that? I've stuck offcuts of carpet onto this desk because it's free. It's leftover carpet from when the office was carpeted. So all I had to do was stick it on top there, and I've suddenly got a properly deadened surface there that if I talk into that, it shouldn't do. It should be nice and dead. Then I've got acoustic foam up here because actually the biggest problem was audio coming back at me from there. We talked about that. That's the problem if I don't cover this over. And that's a separate issue. The biggest problem was audio. I'm speaking into the microphone there. My voice is hitting the wall and up there and then coming back at the mic. So what I did was I bought this acoustic foam, and you have to be very careful with acoustic foam because, for goodness sake, make sure it's flame retardant, or in the event of a spark or fire, you'll go up like a 1990s shell suit. So you want to get this is the proper stuff. And what I actually did, none of this is stuck on the wall. Some people get the spray mount and they stick it on the wall, which is a bit annoying when you come to move house. Because you'll be ripping lumps of plaster off, because trust me, that foam stuff sticks. All of this is actually hung on the wall. I bought some cardboard and I spray mounted it onto the cardboard and the hooks, and I'm going to get it back on now, will I? I'll put that back on in a minute. But in fact, this is a giant piece of cardboard here. It's a giant piece of cardboard, and it all is just stuck onto a bit of board there, and it will all just come off in the event of moving house, meaning no damage to the wall at all. There is one tack that goes in somewhere in there just to hold this extra bit, because I just wanted to try and get this up as far as possible. You couldn't go up all up there because I've got this kind of sloping roof up here, but I wanted to deaden it down there. And then finally And this isn't so much of an issue since I upgraded the studio, but there used to be a bit of a problem there. So there's another bit in there, and you can see there, it's just on a bit of board. It was going to be hung up. But that's a very easy way to do this. And it's all flame retardant, proper foam, not the Chinese stuff that you can buy cheaply on AliExpress, that you can get shipped in. It is proper studio foam. And there is a difference in the density. You will, if I talk into that, you will, I don't know if you can hear that or not, there's a difference. It is deadening me. It is deadening me. And that does make a difference. It's properly dense stuff. You can spend a fortune on the foam. You can go really, really expensive. This is just fairly decent stuff that didn't break the bank. Having the mic on an arm helps as well, because you're getting it away from that flat surface down there, actually having it up here. Not everyone can do that. Some people need to pack away. This is pretty much a permanent setup here that I use for work. And actually the mic arm is actually rather an expensive one, because I started off with a cheap one and it wasn't very good, so I ended up spending on a decent one. But at least everything stays where it is. But that's not important. Your microphone choice is important. I prefer the Rode mics. This is not a USB mic. It's a phantom powered mixing desk mic. There is a USB version of this Rode NT1 available. I like it because if you close mic yourself, there actually you won't get a lot of noise coming from around the outside. There's a terrible trend for these Blue Yeti mics with all these configuration options on them for different pickup patterns. I just think they're just a potential nightmare for the ordinary person. You get a Rode in, you set it up, you just plonk it down, you use it properly, and you'll get good results. You don't want lots of switches and stuff. In my day-to-day work, I've been doing a lot of buying kit for clients to do podcast and recording at home. And I've been going with it's me. I've been going for the Rode mics, although they're hard to get hold of at the moment, because they're giving really good results in people's homes. You may prefer a Blue Yeti, that's fine. I've just found they don't really work for me personally. I like the Rode stuff, and if you can get a mixing desk, then again, it's more money. You've got a lot more flexibility. I've got all my different channels coming in here. If I'm doing some work stuff or if I'm doing live stuff for Chinny Vision and what have you, I've got a lot more flexibility than just a mic that plugs into a computer. And this thing will outlive me. A phantom powered XLR mic. A mic is, I was always taught back when I was at uni, a microphone's for life. Look after it. A microphone's for life. They don't go out of date. They don't change if they're not connected to a computer. They're just standard XLR mics. They don't change. If I can get that out of there. So just a standard XLR, phantom powered, and it's good for life, basically. I'll leave it out of there now because I won't plug it in now. Everything's died down there now as well. Things you can use in your room to deaden the audio, because we don't all have permanent studio setups. Heavy fabrics, curtains, things like that. Anything that can go against a wall, flat surfaces, what have you, is good. That's the enemy. Now, that wall there doesn't actually affect me too much here, because the way I'm projecting my voice into there, if I was facing a different direction, it might make a difference, but it doesn't for me. You just want to deaden everything off you can. If I can have a curtain across there, brilliant, but I don't. But anything you can do, thick curtains, thick throws, towels, anything that gets rid of the hard surfaces, get your microphone away from the hard surfaces, and that's it, really. That's all you need to do, and just be nice and closely mic'd as well. I'm usually about there. Mic on the mouth there, if you can see, kind of about there going into there. But yeah, so hopefully that's helpful for someone anyway, just getting your kind of acoustics Right, now I've got to hang that back on the wall and plug my microphone back in. But yes, thanks for watching. Cheers.